impressed, lads, because you've just got another star, haven't you? I missed that earlier, Alec, which you said you are now a 5-star attraction.
Yeah, 5-star visitor attraction. Recently upgraded to that through the Visit Scotland grading system. We're delighted. It's very rare to get that 5th star. We've also got our Taste Our Best award as well for the cafe. That's all about promoting local produce, selling Scottish food basically, letting people see the best of Scotland. So we're delighted. We'll now have to work hard to keep that 5th star because it doesn't stop here, it's just the start of our journey. But we'll work very hard to make sure every visitor gets exceptional service. I'm Alec Geddes, I'm the Operations Manager of the museum.
Alec, how long did it take from the time the prisoners moved out into the new prison till the museum opened?
They actually closed the prison in December 2013, moved them next door to the new prison. It took a period of 3 years, and as I said, that's 3 years on. We're looking over 188,000 visitors from across the world.
Wow. Alec, how did the team turn a working prison into how it is now one of the best visitor attractions in the Northeast?
When I came in, the prison was basically empty. I got some of the former officers along to look at, the route we're going to take, the stories that would fit in behind the route that we're taking. And that's in effect how we did the whole museum. Working with people that used to work in here, getting period pieces, resetting the whole place. So when people walk through it, they're always waiting for a prisoner to walk round the corner. We've kept it as live as we possibly can.
Well, they're coming from all over the world to see the museum here. What is it that pulls them here, Alec?
I think it's the fact it's quite recent history. It only closed in December 2013, but equally it's got 125 years of history, opened in 1888. It's a real working prison. It's kept very much as it was when it closed its doors. We want people for the minute they walk in through the main reception to think, oh my goodness, I'm in the real thing now. And they are in effect. The only thing that's missing now is the prisoners themselves.
And it does give a real insight.
It does, yeah. As I say, the stories are quite, I wouldn't say horrendous, but it brings the reality of real prison life, to everyday people walking through. Many visitors coming through, often they actually say that they've driven past the walls for years and years and years. Once they've been, they come out and they say, with no idea what was happening within these walls.
So the history of the prison isn't just contained to the prisoner's life in the jail, it's about how they were part of a workforce that helped build the harbour breakwater. And that's something I think needs to be remembered. Johnny Rominski.
Johnny was very well known, probably by all the locals as well. Famous safe breaker, or infamous, depending on what way you want to look at this. His first time in Peterhead, he decided life up here wasn't for him, so he decided to escape.
But that is the status Johnny Rominski achieved over the course of
He'd actually escaped 5 times back then. During World War II, he'd actually asked to be released, to go and serve. He was very patriotic.
Skills at sabotage could be used in the service of his country.
And he actually joined the Royal Fusiliers.
Bravery and had won respect.
Captain Buchan, he was actually the governor at the time, knew of his safe breaking skills and actually got him transferred to 30 Commando. During his time there, he trained the commandos how to break into safes.
Tremendous physique, and he was quickly selected for duty.
During the big push, he was dropped behind enemy lines, broke into 15 German safes in one day and got the secrets out. However, once the war was over, he fell back into his old ways and ended back up here in Peterhead again.
Interesting stories, Alec. Well, who now comes through these prison doors?
Internationally, they're from all over the world. Our main demographics are Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Americans, across Europe. They're coming from everywhere. All with an interest in prisons. Many of them have been to Alcatraz. Many of them actually saying this is better than Alcatraz. So for us, that's quite an accolade and quite a shock. and that includes Americans as well saying that. So it's nice to think that we've got something right in our own doorstep that can, well, eventually will become world known, because all the visitors here are all leaving saying, we're going back to tell our friends about this place.
Amazing.
Special Air Service, better known as the SAS, of course. They were actually used here back in 1987. An officer held up on the roof for 4 days. And again, that's unique about here. In Britain, it's the first time the SAS and only time they've been used to end a domestic siege in mainland Britain.
I'm like yourself, Alec. I notice in your Facebook page that you highlight the other attractions in this area, which I also do in my YouTube channel, Jill McWilliam. You know, we have a lot to offer here in Buchan. We are unique in our geographical area. We are unique in Scotland, and we have a unique history, and indeed, we are unique people.
Yep, I would agree with you, Jill. So it's not all just about us, it's about all the other attractions in here. So we're all about what's happening in this northeast corner. Obviously Peterhead, the largest white fish port in Europe. It's all about keeping it local. It's really trying to get everything out into the wider world about the northeast corner of Scotland. Aberdeenshire is a wonderful place. You can go from the hills right to the North Sea coast. There's so much to see in between. A wealth of history in here. Way back to the Jacobites and beyond. Cromwell's troops were based in Peterhead for a long period. So that shows you the demographic of this place. The history is unbelievable. We just need the people to come here now and learn all about the northeast corner.
Alec, I couldn't have put that better myself. Alec, you were saying that amongst the many visitors that you've had to the prison here, museum, that you've had some television companies.
Yeah, we've probably had most of the major TV companies here now. So it's kind of nice to sit down with just a local gal for Cruden Bay, doing local things about the local place, and hopefully getting it out there, you know, that they won't just listen to the major companies. They'll maybe look at some of the YouTube clips and everything and say, well, we need to go to the northeast corner.
Thank you, Alec.
Okay, so it's good night from me, and it's good night from him.
Well, Jackie and Alec, I've had the great pleasure to coming to the museum here to interview you both today. I'm gobsmacked.
You must have enough of miserable life.
My aim, Jackie and Alec, is to take interesting people who has done really good things in the community, and you two have certainly done that. So,
Thank you.
Thanks, Jill.